Right, welcome back to video 3. So far we've got our sprite moving when we press the green flag from side to side, and we've also got the bullet coming out of our sprite, obviously when we press the spacebar. Before we move on, we're going to very quickly do one little bit of editing or adding to our bullet. So at the moment when we press the spacebar, it shows, it then points up and it moves. We actually want to add a sound so that when we press the spacebar it makes like a laser sound, so it sounds like it's firing. So we're going to add a sound, so we click on sounds, we then go to import, and we're going to find one that's called, let's try effects, see what's in there. No, none of those ones. Maybe electric. Yeah, we've got laser. So I'm going to use that one, laser 1. You can pick either one, so press OK. That imports the sound. You then need to add the script to play the sound. So we click back on scripts and we go to sound, and you see the top one, it says play laser 1. I'm going to drag this across here and I'm going to add it just above the show. So it should say play sound laser 1, show, pointing direction up. So let's play it, let's try it. Move side to side, press, and you can see then it works. And that's what we want for our sort of bullets, okay? So press the red stop. Right, we're now going to insert our first invader. So we're going to go to insert a new sprite, and we're going to select our white invader. That's going to be our first invader, and press OK. So here's our first invader. So let's just position him where we want him to start. So let's say you want him to start just there. So double click on him. So the first thing we're going to say is that when the green flag is clicked, we always want him to come to this position and show. So basically going to say go to, and you need to make sure that the coordinates here are the same as your position of your invader. Okay, we're then going to make sure that in case it's already been shot, we're going to make sure we press the look and it shows. Okay, so that's the first two bits we're going to do. So we're going to move, even if he's over here, when we press the green flag, he comes back to this position and starts. So what we want him to do is to move across the page for now, and then when he gets to this edge, we want him to bounce back across. So we're going to say forever move 10 steps. Might be a bit too quick. See, at the moment he's going the wrong way as well, so we actually need to tell him to point in the right direction. So when the green flag's pressed, go to this position, show, and point in direction 90, which doesn't go in there, goes just above it like that. That means it's always going to point this way to the right. So press the green flag. Yeah, that's a little bit too quick. So let's change 10 steps down to about 3 or 4 steps. It's up to you. I'm gonna say 4 for now. Let's just test that. There we go. So our invader moves across. However, when he gets to the end, he just kind of like stays there. We want him to bounce back. So at the bottom of the motions, you've got one that says if on edge bounce. Okay, and I want you to put that inside the forever. So let's check, see what happens. So it moves across, hits it, and bounces back across. To be honest, at the moment that's pretty good. Okay, the only thing we need to get to happen, what we want to actually happen, is for our invader to then move down the page when it hits the edge of the page. So it moves across. Before it bounces, we want it to move down a little bit. Okay, and for that, what we're going to do, we're going to say when the green flag is clicked, forever if. So forever if it does what? So let's do the sensing. If it's touching, you should be able to click, and you should be able to click edge. So we're going to say forever if it's touching the edge, we want it to move down. And to move down a little bit, we can use a motion, and we can use change Y. So if we changed Y by 10, it would take it up. So we need to change it by a minus number. So let's just try -10 for now and see what happens. So it moves across, moves down, and then goes back across. I'm a little bit worried that probably hasn't moved down further enough. So I'm going to change that to move down -40. Let's see what happens. So press the green flag, moves across, moves down, probably a little bit too far. So I'm just going to change that back to -35. Okay, and I think that should be perfect, really. So it's going to move across, move down, and move back across. And so far that looks pretty good for our first invader. So so it moves across, but we want it to happen so that when we shoot it like I just did there, it actually disappears, so it doesn't stay on the screen. So what we're going to say, we're going to use another when the green flag is clicked, and we're going to say forever if, so if it's touching what, so, or if it's touching sprite 1. So we're going to say, you might have named that bullets. I'm going to quickly change that to actually bullet. So we're going to click on my sprite 1 and change it to bullet. Okay, and come back to my invader. So I'm going to say forever if touching bullet, which is our sprite, what do we want it to do? Well, we actually want it to disappear. So we're going to looks and we say hide. And I'm also at this point going to add in a sound effect. So we go to sounds and we're going to go to import, and you can select any from obviously the list. I'm going to select an effect. I'm using pop. Okay, so I'm going to use pop. I'm going to go to scripts, I'm going to go to sounds, and I'm going to say, I'm going to put the play pop sound there. So let's just test that, okay? So move across, pop, and it disappears. That's really good so far. So in this video, you should have now, you should have your ship moving across the bottom. The bullet comes out with a sound effect. You should have your first invader moving across the page, and then when it hits the edge it moves down, and you should also have it so that when the bullet touches the invader it hides and it plays the sound pop. If you've not got that so far, you need to watch this video again and go over it again with you, okay?